This is a video to help anyone who intend to do a drive shaft job on their Ford Focus. This one is 2006, but believe that this will apply to a whole lot of the Fords and generally it will help you if you intend to do your car. It doesn't matter whether it's Ford or not, but this particular car is a Ford. And the frustration at the end, I promise you, you need to watch to the end in order for you to decide whether it's worth paying a mechanic to do it or you want to do it yourself with the basic tools that you've got. It's very important. I was so frustrated. And you need to watch to the end to understand why I was frustrated. So basic things first, safety first, making sure I'm jacking the car at the right point so that when I'm under it, I feel safe enough to do the work by the roadside. Remember, this is a DIY, so you can do it on your drive or by the roadside, so long as you adhere to all the safety methods. And yeah, I got a trolley jack. I could have used that, make life easier for me. But I thought for the sake of the video being a DIY kind of video, I'm using what came with a car, the jack that came with a car. And what you will see shortly is me using a jack stand to make it stand. But before the tire lift, it's important to loosen all the nuts, and that's what I'm doing. Loosen the nuts up and make sure that I could have loosened the nuts anywhere with the impact drive. The impact drive is strong enough, so I could have done that. But you don't have to use an impact drive. You can use the normal spanner that comes with your vehicle to do that loosening up. As you can see, car has lifted up now. Wheels is free, but I need to lift it up a bit more in order for me to be able to put that jack stand there to make sure that the car is safe to go under and work there safely. This is very important. I know I sound like a broken record, but I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure that the car is secured properly and you are able to work there, or not just you, but if you're working by the roadside like I am now, and you just move a little bit and someone comes around and the car goes down, that will be on you. So it's very important to ensure the safety of the vehicle. I went ahead and removed all the wheel nuts, and then just pull it down. The impact drive makes the work a bit more enjoyable, boys and their toys. I just love a good tool to help make the work fun. That's exactly what happened. And as you can see, wheel is out, and for another added safety, I always like to push the wheel underneath the vehicle again, because what you will see is me putting my whole feet underneath there, and I want something to save me just in case. And this is for the DIY, just to make sure safety is at the top of your priority when you're doing this. So there are two bolts to remove, the lower ball joint and the upper ball joint. That one here, that's a lower one, that's a bigger ball joint, is 22 socket. And the other one, the smaller ball joint, is 15 sockets, and the shaft bolt is 13 bolts on this particular vehicle. It may look a bit easy as I do it now, but it is not that. It is much tighter than what you are witnessing. It's a bit loose now because I have changed the shaft not too long ago, and the oil was leaking from the inner bit, and that's the reason why I'm doing this video, to change the inner seal, the seal that meets the gearbox. That is the purpose of this video actually, but it's the same if you're changing the shaft. The method is the same. So as you can see, I was able to just push the shaft in, and it went in because I've changed it not long ago. Normally it will be seized, and you will have to tap it a bit because that get corroded over time. So I went ahead and loosened the 15 bolts for the lower ball joint. You can see I used the impact there again. I made sure that it was loose before, because you don't want to, the last thing you want is to break anything. So again, went ahead and hammered the knuckle. Be careful not to hammer the bolt, so I carefully hammered the knuckle. That's the strong metal there, but I wasn't taking any chances, so I put the nuts there in order to protect the bolts from damaging the thread. So just gently hammer it and it will pop, and then you will be able to change it. As you can see, it's popped now, nice and loose. Now we can go ahead and change and remove the ball joint from there. It's not too bad, so we're not changing that, but just be careful to not spin it. Make sure it doesn't spin. Now we come into the 22 socket for the lower ball joint. Again, it's going to be a little bit loose, but the first time I removed it, it was a bit corroded. The top of the nuts a bit corroded, so you have to use a wire mesh to clean the top, and use some WD-40 to make sure that it's clean before it comes up. This is coming up very easy. You would think I didn't lose it, but yes, it was very tight initially. That was weeks before I changed the drive shaft, but yeah, there we go. That now comes off. That bolt 22 socket bolts come off, and now we have to put the bolts back before we whack the knuckle again in order to free the joint from its housing. So this one, the hammer was a little bit not too heavy. Should have used a lot heavier hammer, but there you go, it pops out. Now I can loosen it, and you can use a pry bar or something, or press it very hard and it will just come off, and so that you can remove the outer shaft. As you can see, it's brand new there, it's just weeks old. But now, for the life of me, I could not take this shaft off the inner where it makes the gear thing. I tried it several times, and this is not my first attempt at trying to remove it. I think it's the second time. I had to go and get those special pry bars, but I still had no luck. It would just not budge. And the funny thing is, it's a new shaft that I've just installed not long ago, so it couldn't have seized. And so I tried several times to remove it, and I had to call the owner to say, look, maybe it needs to go on a ramp, and it means I might have to take it to a workshop, or he might have to take it to a workshop. As you can see, I tried so many times that I was so frustrated. It would just not pop out. It should just pop out, because it's just like a spring that goes into a groove where it meets the gearbox. So when I pry it out, it should pop out, but it wouldn't budge. So unfortunately, it is not a happy ending because the shaft didn't come out, but you get the idea of how it's done. It should normally come out, but this wasn't coming out. I'll have to visit Avis Auto, where I'll meet Trevor, who is my a mentor to my mentor, or he's mentoring me. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but for the life of me, that will not come out. Anyway, we had a bit of good news, so I've done that, and I have filled the gearbox. The gearbox oil was almost empty. Or did I say almost? It was totally empty. It's drained out because of the leak. But the good news is that I put the shaft back together, and I filled the gearbox oil with almost 2 liters of gearbox oil, and there was no leak coming from there. So the car sat down overnight. We put a cardboard underneath it to see if it's collecting any, if the leak is still coming. And luckily, there was no leak coming. So fingers crossed, hopefully from all the bashing that I've given it, it's going to seal itself. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I've told the owner to keep an eye on it. If the oil is draining too much, or if the oil is draining, then obviously we'll have to go to a shop to get the shaft out and change the seal. So unfortunately, this is going to be the end of the video. Putting it together is reverse of removing it. So I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. If you like it, subscribe, and let's get more mechanical videos coming up. I've intentionally used, for the most part, DIY stuff that everybody can use. You don't need a trolley jack. You can use a jack that comes in your car, and this job can be done, but just giving you an idea of what it's going to be like. And you can see me literally yanking it there, but that is not coming. It was so frustrating. And but like I said, the seal seemed to have sat or reset itself, hopefully for the owner. Otherwise, we'll have to go to the shop. So I'm going to end it here, and we'll see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. But it can be done. Thanks for watching. Bye.